This is not a precarious situation at all. That light's so bright. Holy crap. Okay. Welcome to another episode of Answering Your Questions. I split the video up into two because it was pretty long. So, this is part two, basically, which I filmed yesterday. But nobody needs to know that. So, welcome to part two. Let's dive right in. Next, I want to talk about homesickness. I think this is a big topic when it comes to studying abroad, and it's interesting. Everybody deals with it differently. Going abroad was a really exciting experience, and once I left, I was like, I never want to come back to the US, and that hit pretty quickly for me, but it doesn't for a lot of people, so I understand that. And you know, I did make a list while I was abroad of things that I missed about being home. Most of it was food, I'm not gonna lie. It was like M&Ms with fake dyes and frozen yogurt, stuff like that, that I was like, man, kind of excited to go eat this or like do this or go to this place when I'm back in the US. That is, I think, a normal experience. I think everybody's gonna miss home at some point to some extent, no matter if it's like the people, your family, your friends back at home, your university and your old teachers and, you know, just knowing the place that you're in, or if it's like, you know, just being out in the nature that you're used to or being in a city that you're used to, and it all just changes when you go abroad. And this will be a whole separate thing because I want to talk about in depth what you can do to deal with the homesickness and what I did to deal with the homesickness. So I want to talk about that more in depth, but I want to leave that for its own space and not take up too much time of this video. Okay, so now I want to talk about friends, how I made friends while I was studying abroad, because this is a really interesting subject that I think not a lot of people really have the same experience with all over, because it really is dependent on, you know, do you know the language? How comfortable are you in that area? How comfortable are you being an extrovert and just finding people? All of the friends that I made in Ireland were American. And that's simply because the Irish school system and Ireland in general is kind of set up in a way that you go to school with a certain group of people for your entire life, and then you go to college in Ireland and your best friend is your kindergarten best friend. So those people are really tight-knit and close together already. So when they meet students that are studying abroad, right, they know a lot of people study abroad, especially at UCC, and I felt like there wasn't a lot of interest to actually be genuine friends with study abroad students because they know we're not there for that long. So is it worth the investment of putting the time and energy into making a genuine friend and keeping them when you don't live in the same country, you're not from the same place, you're not going to be there for that long? And, you know, I feel like a lot of people meet friends while studying abroad and try to kind of leverage, like, not take advantage of, but really leverage having friends that are from where they're going abroad. Like, I would have loved to have Irish friends that had a car and were able to show me like different places, but that's also, I feel like, kind of not a bad thing. It's just they know that Americans are gonna want to come and like be like, oh, take me here, 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 and here because you're from here, you know. And obviously that's not what me or any of my friends did at all, but I can understand why that would seem like it would be the case. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to make many Irish friends besides those folks that I talked to just in class, you know, just because we were in the same place at the same time, taking the same class, whatever, and I could text them and be like, so, you know, for this project, what am I supposed to do on this? How do I format this? Because that's also different. But outside of that, I felt like it was really difficult to make friends that were from Ireland. So I met all my friends through USAC, through my USAC group, through going on a bunch of trips with USAC and doing the dinners and the meals and the little day trips and stuff, and we all got close-knit, and that was good because I feel like that made more sense in the way that we were all there studying abroad. There were other people there that were from the US, you know, we could talk about the differences between being in the US and being in Ireland, and that brought a little bit of comfort. Even though I didn't meet anybody from my hometown that was there, I still had that connection of, oh, people miss home, you know, and that's a different type of community. It also allowed us to kind of have this huge, like, giant group chat and be like, I want to go here. Who's gonna go with me? Who's gonna plan this? Who's gonna figure that out? Who's gonna go in a big group with me to go to another country and stuff like that, where I feel like you could do that with Irish native students, but they're less inclined to go with you on these big trips because at least for me and my friends, we were making sure that we put experiences at the top of our list when it came to how we spent money. So I feel like for Irish native students, they were like, well, you know, we go to Spain all the time, like why would I drop that, you know, on a weekend, why would I miss class for that, whatever. But for me, it was like, this is my opportunity to go do and see these things. So it was really nice to have a friend group that was also kind of that mindset, that it was like, okay, let's make it happen, you know, because we're not always gonna be here. Okay, the final question that I want to tackle for this video in particular is, did I feel safe? So, I want to rate Ireland like a 9 out of 10 on the safety scale, specifically in Cork. Limerick, different story. That's not, they call it Stab City. Like, it's not quite as safe. But Dublin even, I feel like, is a little less safe just because it is more touristy. And Cork, I will say there were some nights that I was walking home alone at 1 a.m. by myself. Like, and it was not a big deal. Like, the public transportation is incredible. I feel like it's just more of a community than we're used to in the US. They also have different gun control laws, so just the general safety level of, okay, well, you know, that fear is like taken out of the picture a little bit. So it was interesting to not have to worry about quite as much. Like, I could just kind of be a normal person and do whatever I wanted, go wherever I wanted. Obviously with precaution, right? Like, you don't want to just be like not knowing where you are in a new country with no method of protection. You want to be aware of your surroundings no matter where you are and no matter how safe it is. But I felt like it really gave me an opportunity to just be a normal person and live without the fear of being a woman that I'm used to when living in the US. There are so many places in my hometown here that I should not go because it's just unsafe. Not only for, you know, women in particular, but just in general. Like, there's a lot of violence that happens in cities all over the US, and Seattle happens to be one of them. So it's like, I'm used to kind of walking with my senses heightened, and in Ireland I was still doing that, but it felt like there was nothing really there for me to be aware of. And not to say that bad things don't happen there, but it did feel a lot safer than in the US. I would say Spain felt really safe, where we were in Santander. I would say Paris was definitely touristy. I think whenever there's a place that there's a crap ton of tourists, you're gonna get pickpockets, you're gonna get people that are gonna try to scam you, people that are going to commit violent crimes and break into stores and stuff like that, but that just comes with the mass amount of people that are pulled towards tourist attractions. So I think Amsterdam was also one of the safest. In the Netherlands, I was there day one, and like, I got there at night, and then the next morning I was with a couple of friends, but I just took my shoes and I popped them on and I said, guys, if you don't hear back from me in like an hour, call me. And I went on a run by myself in a country that I've never been in before, and I felt totally safe. I felt completely safe in the Netherlands. I also felt completely safe when we were in Stockholm, Sweden. That was great. I felt no sense of fear there at all. But again, my experience is going to be a little bit different, and I feel like I am used to having a lot to worry about when I go on walks by myself and stuff like that, and to just feel that relief was incredible. So I felt really safe studying abroad, and obviously that goes with saying, don't be stupid. Like, there are definitely some things that you shouldn't do when you're abroad, or ever, just period, for general safety. But I did feel really safe in Ireland, specifically in Cork, and I felt really safe in Sweden, and I felt really safe in the Netherlands as well. Those are probably my top 3, like, felt safe places. So I'm gonna do another one of these videos answering your guys' questions, and a couple of the videos that I mentioned earlier that I'm going to take some of the questions that we talked about and expand on them, because there's a lot more to say about them. So with that, if you have any more questions, comments, concerns, queries, quandaries, qualms, let me know. I will always be in the comments reading those and making sure that I put them into my big list of questions to answer for you folks. So let me know, and I'll see you next time.